Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome back to the Sim Shack and me, Sim UK. Hope you're well. Hope your seafaring expeditions have been profitable and good for you. So we're in a position now, we've got 972,000 in the bank, we've paid off all of our loans, but I want to get to the next fishing boat, which is 1.4 million, so we're going to have to go back out there and do a bit more fishing. Let's just come in here a second. What I want to do, obviously we need to re-rig this so that we get our buckets and stuff back. What I want to do is upgrade this boat as much as possible. I'm not sure we need to do the internal fuel tank now because the fuel system seems to be a lot better than it was when the game first came out. But I'm tempted to see if any of this steering stuff makes any difference. Convenient knob for enhanced maneuvering. I mean, that just sounds cosmetic. I don't think it's real, but we'll test it. We'll see if it works. But before I do that, I'm going to go grab myself another line, because at the moment, well, at least before the last time I went fishing, if you put a bucket on the back of that boat over there and you save the game and come back to it later, that bucket won't be there. So don't do that. But if you keep the bucket on the floor, on the deck, then it will save it. Let's just come in here. Let's just check. Yeah, I've got loads of... I've got krill and shrimp. I don't know why. I have both. Can I put it down somewhere? No. Okay, not to worry. We are going to purchase some gear. 50 grand. But now we have 3 lines, and that should be enough to get the extra 500,000 we need. Fingers crossed. I'm probably going to have to get some fuel as well. Didn't think of that. Chances are we might be able to get 2 lots of lines down, but the game feels a lot more stable now, so I'm very much hoping we don't have any future problems in terms of crashes and whatnot. We're going to jump on the boat and we're going to do a UE manoeuvre, and we're going to see how good it is. Alrighty. We'll back it up. Straighten her out. It's going to go full tilt. A little bit bobby out here today. We're up to max speed, 8.6 knots or thereabouts. 8.8, 8.9 maybe. That seems to be the fastest we can go. Right, I'll just turn around and see how easy it is to turn around. It feels quite slow and laborious and heavy. In all honesty, the physics are not good enough to make it feel realistic, but we're hoping that's going to come at a later date. Okay, so that's what it feels like and what it looks like with an upgraded prop and nothing else. So, swing around here. Keep a small amount of power on. Current pull us round. Right. Semi-professional looking. So let's take her back to the shipyard and we will do some upgrades and we'll see if it makes much difference at all. So, into the boat. I just realised I forgot to take my painkillers. So we got 3 buckets there, that's good. That's worked. Steering. Let's go for the most expensive steering and see if it makes any difference at all. Boom, that's installed. The throttle. Let's upgrade it again. Engine. How much is the biggest engine? 30 grand. Okay, we've already got the maximum propeller. Let's do the searchlight as well. Oh, thanks, by the way, to the community for pointing out how to control the searchlight. If you press L, oh, it doesn't work unless you're on the boat. If you press L, it brings up a control panel. And for the life of me, I couldn't figure out what it was for. It looked like a placeholder. It was so basic. But yeah, it's for the searchlight. Okay, let's jump back on the boat, back her up, and see if it feels any different. It really ought to, the amount of money we just spent. So, immediately, acceleration has improved. That has accelerated very quickly now. Top speed, 12, nearly 13 knots. In fact, we went just over 13 knots there, 13.4 I think I saw. That's a considerable improvement in speed. You can see how much quicker we're getting down towards that boat. Now, if I just try and turn... Yeah, that's a lot quicker. Everything just feels faster. But I'm wondering if that's the engine or the wheel. I think the engine might be giving us more acceleration, more response from the engine. What it feels like. Let me take the wheel off and we'll see whether or not. We'll see whether or not that makes any difference at all. It's not clear enough, really, is it, to say whether or not. It should say if it's cosmetic. Alright, so I'll come in here, steering, we'll go back to the wooden one. And we'll go back to the basic throttle and see if it's any different. This is the only way I can really test it, I suppose. And, you know, the game's in such an early access state that anything I test today is going to be different next week. So, potentially, anyway. So the acceleration still feels the same. So I'd say that's the engine that's giving us that acceleration and not the throttle. Should still get up to like 13.4. Yeah, it's 13.1, 13.2, 13.3, 13.4. So it's the same speed. So the throttle has done nothing to change that. Let's do a turn. Yeah, I get the impression off the back of that that the steering wheel is cosmetic. But the engine has certainly made a difference. A, we're much, much faster. And B, our acceleration is considerably improved. And I feel like the current has less effect on the boat. Like I'm not having to adjust the steering really right now. We're going to hit that. Taking risks now, showing off. Being all ballsy. Right, so I'm going to go get some fuel and then I'm going to head out to sea and do some fishing. In fact, there's a couple of little things I want to test in the fishing realm as well. Do you have to be in a fishing habitat to catch fish? Good question, right? I don't know the answer. So we're going to go test that and find out definitively if that's a yay or a nay. In fact, I might drop a line here and just see what happens. Get around this corner. Now, has this fuel point gone? It looks like it's still there, but it's not showing up on the map. Oh, it's back. Must have just been a bug. Okay. So it's got available fuel written on it now. That's a nice little added bonus. So these places do run out of fuel occasionally. Nice. Fill her up, Dano. 6,800. That's a lot cheaper than it used to be, I'm sure. Our money's dwindling, but we've got a hell of a boat now. Alrighty. Let's stick one down here. I never go this way. Don't really know what's up here. We put the boat in a slow forward momentum. We'll prep this up. It won't let you. It won't let you put it down unless you're near a habitat. Okay. So that's how they're going to restrict us. Fine. I just thought I'd give it a try and see if it would work. Because if you remember when we did the tutorial, there was a fishing habitat in this area. So yeah, okay, fair enough. It was worth a test. Know for sure now. Right, so with our new super duper upgraded boat, we should, in theory, be able to get out to the fishing grounds a lot quicker. And a lot easier as well. There is a part of me that feels like I wish there weren't fishing areas. Do you know what I mean? Because in the real world, fish are just wherever they are. It's not like an area you go to and there's fish. I mean, I know arguably there are good areas to fish and bad areas to fish, but it's not as cut and dry as that. And this is a nice area here. Why can't I fish here? Why can't the yield here be very, very low, but still, you know, the ability to catch fish is still there? That would be nice. I mean, I know for a fact there's a whale over there. So, yeah. I've just thought of a brilliant way of doing it in my head. I'm going to keep that to myself because I am hoping to start developing games, so I'll use that on my own game, I think. The old map, yes. Oh look, we've got loads more markers now than we had before. On the map, I mean. I don't think they were all showing up on the map before, but they're starting to appear. We've got our little searchlight. Let's turn that on. Press L, and this is the searchlight control. 1, 2, 3. See, I don't really understand what any of this is, but I'm guessing that moves it right, that moves it left, that moves it up, and that moves it down. That turns it on and off. But when we get into a bit of darker light, give that a bit of a test. See how we get on. 12.5 knots. It's noticeably quicker, isn't it? Well worth the upgrade if you are considering going out fishing a lot. Once the restrictions come in on the boats, of course, you won't be able to make anywhere near as much money anywhere near as quickly. So you will be going out a lot more, so it'll make even more sense to do the upgrade. I have no idea, which I'm going to ping over to the devs. just asking them to put a skip time clock in the shipyard. So if the weather outside is a bit dicey, we can skip time and wait in there until the weather sort of improves a smidge. Interesting. We're talking about developing some games. I've just been asked to work on a game with a fellow indie dev. Need to start allocating more time to my game development rather. Too much time reviewing other people's games and giving them good ideas and feedback and not making my own. Crazy. Starting to look really nice, this game. Some good details there on that marker. What? You can't draw a line there. What are you talking about? Some sort of marker to aim at. It's a shame the markers don't show up on the compass at the top. Right. We're absolutely flying down there today. That's nice. Engine upgrade does have an impact on what you do and how easy life is. So I'm going to do a little test here. I've not been dropping the line until I see the fish, but because I've got a 2,500 long line, I don't think I need to do that. I don't think it's necessary for me to do that. So as soon as I get into the fish area, I'm going to drop the hooks and just see what happens. If it ends up not catching anything, then we've learnt something. If it still catches fish, then we've learnt something. So it's all about experimentation at this point in time. I'm going to try and do a little triangle. That's going to be my plan. So the current and the waves are pushing us off course a little bit, but nothing like they were before. I'm hardly having to touch the keyboard, it's just an occasional adjustment, and I think that's because of the engine upgrade. Speculative at the moment, but there seems to be a lot of evidence to back it up, so I'm going to go with that theory for now. I may well get proven wrong, and in time it may well change. But as it is today, that is my belief, that's how it feels. Right, we are officially in the fish habitat. I must have missed the statement. So let's pop that in front of us here. I think 3 kilometers is probably about right. I'm nervous though, because I'm so far away from the fish. We'll do one there like that. One there like that. One there like that. Let's do it that way. Alright, first line. Go. So you'll see we've got no fish on the sonar whatsoever, and we can see from the map that we're nowhere near where the shoals are. So it'll be interesting to see whether or not that line picks any fish up at all, and if it does, how many, or how many hooks have got nothing on them. There we go. Bang on our marker now. It is a bit more boring now that they've turned the waves off. I'm disappointed. The arcade community have come in and already started ruining the game. I'm a bit disappointed by that, I have to admit. They've just made it less fun, less challenging, less interesting. And it's got my concerns, because this is what they did in the last 2 games. They created some, well, in the first game they created a wonderful experience. There was a bit of a tidal situation which I struggled to get my boat back in against the tide, and that was a wonderful experience. I loved that. That's what made me like the game so much. And then because people were struggling to get their boat into shore, they turned it off, and I just thought, that's it for me. It just stopped being a simulator. Then they brought out Fishing North Atlantic, and that was boring as hell. Again, no challenge, no risk, no excitement, no fun. So I couldn't play that for very long either. And I'm absolutely sure, I'm still convinced they're not going to do it again. But, you know, the arcade community have come in and complained about how difficult it is. My boat takes too much damage when I bounce into things, but stop hitting things then. Learn to control the boat so you don't hit things. It's very simple. Stop whinging and moaning about it. Spend a bit of time learning how to control the boat. Get on with it. You've just ruined it for everybody else with your little whingy crybaby behaviour. Really, really disappointed that they turned the waves off. Really disappointed that they're talking about turning down the damage on the boat. Now, I grant you, if you bump into something at less than 1 knot, you know, 0.5 knots or something like that, okay, fine. No damage. I don't have a problem with that. But as the rest of it, yeah, smash the boat up. Totally smash the boat up. Make it absolutely clear to the captain of the boat that you've got to look after the boat. You've got to be careful. You've got to make sure you don't hit things. So I am a little bit peeved, a little bit upset. But we'll see what happens. I will continue voicing my opinion until I feel like I'm not being listened to anymore, and then I'll have to stop, I guess. What else can a man do? What else can a man do? How are we doing here? Damn it, my mouse has just stopped working. Put my old captain's hat on. So this line potentially is not going to be anywhere near the fish at all. So it'll be a good test to see if we get any fish. We're in the fishing habitat. The fish are all down here and my line's all the way up there. There's a chance that the fish will swim up there. So that's like a risk-reward sort of situation.